tomorrow? Awesome. 12 people. Come early. Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for tuning in to another live Mystic Fitness Flow. I'm going to wait a couple moments while you guys come all start tuning in. We do have a slightly big announcement this morning. So as you guys get settled, grab your mats. We have the wonderful Dima with us today. This is her first live class with us, so she is back at Mystic, and we're so happy to have her. We're unintentionally matching this morning. So who's who? Awesome. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to wait a couple moments for a couple more people to kind of trickle in before I make a couple of exciting new announcements for Mystic. In the meantime, if you guys make any sort of donation through Mystic Fitness Venmo, you will receive a Mary Beth handmade mask. And if you don't want a mask, you can opt into some of the blocks or mats that we've been using in the studio, and we'll sanitize them for you and bring them to you so that you can have them for your home studio. In addition, you guys, we always come live to you every morning at 9 a.m. without fail. So if ever we're running a little bit late, it's just due to some technical stuff. Keep refreshing your page, and we will be there. Instagram and Facebook. And then these videos are later archived onto our Facebook page and YouTube page. So now that it's 9 o'clock and I have a couple of more of you guys here, I'd like to announce that Mystic Fitness is going to be doing some outdoor classes when weather permits us at Victory Field, which is just the field on, what is that road called? Auburn Street, so the street behind Mystic that you come into on that little back road. There's a nice, beautiful field back there where most of the times it was soccer practice and all that good stuff. But we've actually secured a 9 to 10 time slot. So we're going to be able to bring you guys some outdoor yoga, and we're going to keep streaming them. So if you don't want to come to the lot of the in-person outdoor classes, we'll still stream it live, so don't be nervous about losing your live classes. This is something that we're definitely dedicated to continuing. So let me give you the rundown on how you can attend this class. So it's great if you could show up a little bit early, preferably 15 minutes early, and you're going to actually park in Trolley Square, which is where Mystic is located. Grab your items. Make sure you have water, mat, and any other utensils that you'll need. We will not be providing blocks or towels or mats. You have to come prepared with all of your own gear. And then you can walk down to Victory Field and join us there. We're going to be allowing the first 12 people that arrive to take this class with us. So if you do come a little bit earlier, that's definitely going to situate you to make sure that you're definitely making the class. Gloria says, good to see you, Dima. And so this is huge news for us. We're so excited. This is definitely like a little bit of a soft opening that we're trying to kind of position ourselves to just see, what are the new things that the new challenges that we're going to be encountering with, moving our classes outdoors. And yeah, so that's pretty much the deal on the outdoor classes. Like I said, it is weather permitting, so stay tuned the night prior or that morning just to kind of recheck and make sure that we're still on. And all of our announcements will go through our Facebook page. So if you are curious if there is a rain date or anything like that, look on our Facebook page and we'll have the most up-to-date post saying if the class is canceled or if the class is on. So please, please, please join me tomorrow. When you do get to Victory Field, lay your mat down. Keep your mask on as you're entering into the field with us. Once you're on your mat and you're situated, you can take your mask off. And then the same goes as when we're exiting. So put your mask back on and come off of your mat as you're exiting. So I'm so excited. If you guys have any questions regarding the new outdoor class tomorrow, please message us through Facebook, email. You can call us and leave a message on our phone if we're not picking it up. Or if you have any of my personal, accounts or information or Amy's, I'm sure that would be an okay way to reach out as well. So I'm so looking forward to seeing you guys tomorrow. This is a huge step in the right direction for Mystic as well as our community. And yeah, we're just big smiles here this morning. So thank you guys for your continued support. And like I said, we're going to continue the live streaming of this. So if you're not feeling comfortable with going outside yet, or if we do fill up to 12 people, you are more than welcome to join us live. All right? I think that's good. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to come onto our mats. You can either find a seated position or laying down. If you are seated, perhaps taking a block underneath your sacrum, just kind of finding an area where you can settle into your body and breath. Just let an inhale and exhale flow. Now that our physical body has arrived on our mat, it's time to allow our mental and emotional bodies to arrive as well. And I came across a little video that I took 3 years ago of myself swinging on a swing at West Dennis Beach in the Cape. And due to what's been happening, they have not put the swings up this summer. And it's been something that I've been doing since I was a little child, going and swinging on these swings at the beach. And rather than being upset by this, it actually kind of brought a smile to my face because it reminded me of the importance of being present. And the very nature of this existence is constantly changing and very temporary. And there is a sense of comfort in knowing that nothing is forever. And it continues to challenge us to enjoy each second as a gift. And so as we come onto our mats, it's very important that we engage in presence before entering movement, almost like a setting of the stage for your practice. And the more present you can be, the more you can identify those little things that happen within your life that are profound. Taking another deep breath in and letting it go. Again, in and out. Slowly starting to reawaken back through your physical body, perhaps finding some movement through the toes and fingers. Maybe a rocking of the head from left to right. If you are laying down, taking the next couple breaths to bring yourself back up into your seat. Once you've arrived, bringing your hands over heart or bringing the palms together. And just establishing this connection to your soul. Just for a moment, taking note and asking yourself, how are you? And rather than letting words answer you, just allow your body to answer you through sensation. And I encourage you to continue asking yourself how you are throughout your practice and take as many breaks as you need and as many water breaks as you need. We'll begin our class with the sound of Om, starting with a cleansing breath to prepare. Breathe in and out. And for Om, inhale. Have a healthy practice, everyone. With the inhale, circle sweep those arms up to the sky. And with the exhale, just pull that energy down to your heart center. Inhale, arms sweep back up to the sky. And then just relax through your shoulders. Let the shoulders drop away from the ears and just kind of rotate through the wrists a couple times. You can even drop the arms into goalpost position. Just kind of find some circling, opening and closing of the palms. It's very important that we make sure that our wrists are warmed up before bearing some weight on them. Go ahead and give them a shake. And then take a couple movements through the shoulders. So maybe one arm at a time, going from a backstroke kind of position, and then a front stroke. Maybe the arms want to move in unison together. Even bringing the fingertips on your shoulders or taking some full sweeping of the arms up. Taking any little movements here throughout the neck. And then we will come into our table pose when you're ready. So allowing your hands to place onto the earth below your shoulders, knees below the hips. Make sure the fingers are spread wide and the fingertips are pressing into the ground. With the inhale, dropping the chest, gazing forward. Maybe the chin picks up. And then with the exhale, curling and rounding through the spine, really pressing the floor away to open up that upper back. Inhale, arch the spine, open it up. And exhale, curl the spine. So within our warm-up here at the beginning of our class, it's important that we hit all of the different ranges of motion through our vertebra, shoulders, hips, knees, neck. All of this is part of the warming up process. And eventually the body will be craving some more organic movement, so perhaps rocking of the hips from side to side, or taking some semicircles towards the back of your mat, or full sweeping pelvic bowl rotations. And when we are first learning how to move, we learn how to crawl. So this is a very playful position to be in. It's very primal and something that we should feel pretty comfortable with. So let your body move. You can even drop down onto your forearms if at any point your wrists are feeling a little tender or need a little break. If you are taking those circles, make sure you take them to the other side. And then letting this motion carry you into a child's pose and resting here for a moment to this humbling towards the ground. If you need to continue some swaying, that's of course welcome as well. This is your practice, your opportunity for whatever freedom of movement you like. Perhaps coming back to your soul and just asking it, how are you? Take another breath here. Slowly returning back up into your table pose, spreading the fingers wide into the earth, finding a flat back, and then extending the right toes to the back of your mat, keeping the toes there to start, perhaps taking a couple back and forth presses to stretch through the calf and arch of your foot. And then we'll pick the toes up off of the ground, but try to keep that heel in line with the hip. We're going to flex that right foot to keep it nice and strong here so that energy is radiating all the way up to your glutes. Then transferring into the abdominals, squeeze your abdominals. Perhaps that left arm reaches forward for a full extended table. Inhale to extend your table, pull the limbs apart from one another, and with the exhale, curl the elbow and knee towards your midline. Inhale, reach and extend, squeeze through right glute, and exhale, curl it in. 3 more. Inhale and exhale. 2 and 1. Inhale, extend both of the limbs. Take the left hand back to the ground and bring right leg out to the right and land the foot out to the right side of your mat. Taking some back and forth presses in this half child's pose position. So again, you might even kind of come down onto your forearms and take these back and forth presses. You might even find a happy spot that you want to hold a little longer and breathe into this stretch. Coming all the way back up. So keep that right foot where it is. We're going to access some twisting of the spine. So that left hand stays planted. Inhale, right fingertips sweep up to the sky. And then with the exhale, right fingertips thread over to the left side of your mat. Inhale to open up and expand, right fingertips back up. You can always keep a bend through that right knee. And with the exhale, thread across. Last one here. Inhale, reach it up. Maybe your gaze follows. And exhale, thread. Coming out of it the same way we got into it by starting with those right fingertips up to the sky. And with the exhale, right hand lands to the ground. Use your stability through the legs and core to slowly prop yourself up. That right leg is still extended. Arms sweep up. And with the exhale, right fingertips drop down, finding a side body stretch on the left side body. So we're opening from that left knee all the way up to the left fingertips, relaxing that left shoulder. With this inhale, maybe you soften and come off of your edge. And with the exhale, deepening into your side bend. Last breath here, in and out. Inhale, both arms sweep to the sky. And then with the exhale, planting both hands down to the ground, right knee stacks back in your table pose. Perhaps rocking those hips side to side or taking an arch and a curl before finding this on the left side of our body. Maybe you even notice how the right and left sides feel different now that we've begun some more intense movement. So let's come back to our flat back, engage the hands into the earth, left toes step to the back of your mat, staying planted for a moment as we access through the calf and arch of the foot by pressing back and forth. So especially if you've been doing a little bit more running or hiking with the extra time off, very important that we stretch through our calves. Returning back to a centered position and then lifting the left toes up off the ground with a flexed foot, trying to keep that heel in line with the hip. Squeezing through the left leg all the way to your abdominals. Perhaps that right arm extends forward for a full extended table. The inhales is a lengthening of the limbs apart. And then the exhale, we're pulling the elbow and knee towards one another, using the abdominal to make this happen. Inhale to extend. Exhale, curl. 3 more. In and out. 2 and 1. Inhale to extend that table once again. With the exhale, right hand plants, left leg swings out to the left, and planting here, finding those back and forth presses. So this is a great way to access through the hip flexor. We're taking a little range of motion through the knee and quads. Perhaps you find a spot that you want to hold for a couple moments. Returning back to center. So keeping that left leg extended, both hands plant on the ground. Right hand stays where it is. Inhale, left fingertips sweep to the sky. And exhale, thread left arm across to the right. Inhale to sweep and pick it back up, lengthen. And exhale, thread. Last one here, inhale, pick it up. And exhale, thread. Inhale, rise, left fingertips reach up one more time. Exhale, both hands plant. Using your core connection to slowly rise back up. Inhale, circle sweep the arms to the sky. And then with the exhale, dropping left hand down, finding a side stretch on the right side body. So we're lengthening through the right side body, relaxing that right shoulder. Inhale, coming off of your edge just a touch. And exhale, deepening that side bend. Here's your last inhale. And exhale. Inhale, both arms reach up. With the exhale, planting hands in front of you, returning back into your table pose, taking any little last movements here. And then we'll tuck the toes under and lift those hips up and back for our first downward facing dog. We'll start by walking our dog out here, bending one knee at a time, dropping one heel towards the mat and picking the opposite heel up towards the sky. Making sure the shoulders are not crunching inwards, but rather lengthening down and away from your ears. You might even shake the head yes and no to relax through your neck. I almost like to imagine a little turtle poking its head out of its shell in my downward facing dog. That way my neck is a natural extension of my spine. Take a couple breaths here. Keep moving through your dog. Inhale, bend the knees, gazing forward. And with the exhale, walking or hopping to the front of your mat, forward fold. Pausing for a moment in your forward fold, taking a deep bend through the knees. Perhaps you even bring the forearms on top of the thighs as a little shelf. Or Dima has the blocks under her hands as a little support there. If you like ragdoll, you might grab onto opposite elbow and kind of sway from side to side. Let's shake that head yes and no to really release all of the tension that has built through your neck since your last practice. Even an opening and closing of the jaw might encourage the muscles of the face to kind of relax. I know that usually I hold my tension through my jaw, kind of clenching my teeth together. And it's a good reminder to release. Preparing for your halfway lift by bringing the fingertips onto your shins. Inhale, lengthen your crown. This is an active pose. So that lower belly, that pelvic bowl is squeezing. And exhale is a softening and surrender. Inhale, press into the feet. Slowly rise one vertebra at a time. Finish it off by the fingertips reaching up towards the sky. And with the exhale, pull the hands towards your heart. Ground down here with an inhale. And exhale. Inhale, circle sweep the arms, reach to the sky. Exhale, hinging from the hips, forward fold with a bend through the knees. Inhale is a halfway lift, activate. And exhale, fold. Hands plant, stepping or finding a gentle little hop back into your plank pose. So this is our first plank pose of the day. Let's make sure that it's set up nice and strong. Pressing the heels to the back of the room and crown towards the front of the room. There's a nice long line from heels to crown here. Gentle bend through the elbows so you're not hyperextending. And we're kind of pulling that chest forward. This makes sure that the hips are in line with the body. Inhale here. With the exhale, lower just the knees to the ground. We're going to take a couple yogi push-ups here. So it looks like this. You start to lower your chest with the elbows pointing back, and then press yourself up. Lowering halfway, elbows point to the back of your room, and then press up. Let's take two more. Lower and rise. Lower and rise. Hold for the inhale. Now we're going for our chaturanga with the exhale as you slowly lower that chest all the way to the ground. Inhale for your low cobra. Peel the chest up. Shoulders come towards one another. Chin is tucked. And exhale, soften. Let's find one more low cobra here. Inhale, peel that chest up. Use the upper back and mid back strength to lift yourself. And exhale, surrender. Making your way back to your table pose. And then tucking the toes under, hips pull up and back, downward facing dog. Let's find a couple back and forth presses here. With the inhale, we're dropping the knees to a hover, hips pull up and back, bent knee dog. With the exhale, pressing forward into a plank. Make sure those shoulders do not go past the wrists. Inhale, taking it back. Exhale, pressing it forward. Taking these as fast or as slow as you like. And we're creating a little bit of tension through the legs as we press back, almost like a little spring. And then the exhales is a strong and controlled plank. The next time you come into your plank pose, hold here. Breathe in. Breathe out. Inhale. With the exhale, either lowering the knees to the ground, finding your supported chaturanga, or lowering halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog, or coming back to that low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. So those are both two different variations of chaturanga, and of course you can add your own flair into them as long as you feel safe and supported. Take any version of chaturanga you like throughout your class or skip them entirely. With the inhale, bend the knees, gaze forward, prepare. Exhale, walk or hop to the front of your mat, forward fold. Inhale is your halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart here. Ground down with those feet. Make sure they're hip distance apart. With the inhale, circle sweep and lengthen up. With the exhale, hands to heart, sitting down into your chair pose. So sending those hips back, trying to eliminate any arching of the spine. Maybe for a moment you bring your hands to your lower back and pelvis and just kind of notice if that spine is arching and try to find a nice flat back here. There's an activity of the knees kind of pressing away from each other and inner thighs kind of pulling in towards one another. With the inhale, rise up, press your pelvis forward, squeeze your glutes. And with the exhale, sit into your chair. 5 more. Inhale, rise. Exhale, chair. 4. 3. Feel that little bit of burn. 2. And 1. Hold in your chair pose for 5, 4. Press those hips down a little lower. 3, 2, and 1. Forward fold. Relax here for a moment. Shake the head, yes and no. Maybe you wobble the knees a little bit. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, fold. Inhale, arms circle, sweep up. And exhale, hands to heart. Bringing that weight into the right foot, pulling left knee up into the chest, just giving it a little squeeze for a moment, perhaps rotating left ankle. If this is a little challenging, you might even interlace the hands behind left thigh. Bringing the hands towards the heart, but keeping that left knee elevated, and then sending it behind you for your crescent lunge. So the ball of the left foot lands to the back of your mat, right foot for the front of your mat, feet are hip distance apart, and there's a gentle bend through that back left knee so that that pelvis is stacked right below the shoulders. With the inhale, arms extend to the sky, lengthen in your crescent lunge. With the exhale, dip and twist to the right. So left arm pulls forward, right arm pulls back. Inhale to center. Exhale, dip and twist. 5 more, in and out. 4. Here's 3. Really squeezing through both glutes. Here's 2. And on your last one, we're going to hold in that dip and twist. So we're holding here. We're pressing through the ball of the left foot, heel on the right foot. Squeeze those glutes. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, come back to center, rise. And then with the exhale, pull your hands to center in your crescent lunge. Transferring that weight back into the right foot, left knee pulls back to the chest. And then landing back in your mountain pose. Shake it out a little bit, maybe empty coat sleeve from side to side. Feel a little bit of blood flow and sweat happening. That's all good stuff. So now that we have our feet hip distance apart, we'll inhale, circle sweep the arms up to the sky. With the exhale, pull the hands towards your heart. Transfer the weight into left foot. Right knee pulls to chest. And then just rotating through that right ankle a couple times. Squeezing through left glute. Bringing your hands to your heart, right knee stays lifted, and then send that right foot behind you for a crescent lunge. So the ball of the right foot to the back of your mat, gentle bend through that right knee so that that pelvis is in a comfortable and stacked position. With the inhale, lift up through your crescent lunge, extend it. With the exhale, dip and twist to the left. Inhale, rise. Exhale, dip and twist. In and dip and twist. Here's 3 more. In and twist. 2. And 1. Holding in that crescent dip twist. So there's a deep bend through both knees, pressing through the ball of right foot and heel of left foot for an inhale. And exhale. Inhale, rise, back to center. Exhale, pull the hands towards the heart. Transfer that weight into left foot. Right knee picks back up. And then landing in your mountain pose. Go ahead and shake it out. If you need to grab a quick little sip of water. Hope you guys are getting as sweaty as we are here in this little studio here. Plant both feet on the ground. Inhale, circle sweep the arms to the sky. Exhale, hinge from the hips, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, hands plant, stepping back to your plank pose. Breathe in, breathe out. Choose which style of chaturanga works best for you as you inhale. The exhale, find your chaturanga, lowering halfway or all the way. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog. 2 breaths here, in and out. Inhale, right leg sweeps up to the sky. Dial the hip open by bending the knee and letting that right heel drop over to the left side of the room. Knee points up to the sky. Make sure there's even weight through both shoulders and hands. Inhale, right toes up to the sky. Square your hips. With the exhale, pull right knee towards left elbow. Inhale, sweep right leg back up. Exhale, right knee towards right elbow. Hike it up there. Inhale, sweep the leg up. And with the exhale, pull right knee towards the chest, step to your runner's lunge. So right foot lands towards right hand. Again, feet are hip distance apart. If you need to set this up with blocks underneath your hands, feel free to do so. Plug that right foot into the ground. Squeeze through all of your quads and glutes, all of them. And then we're going to find our runner's lunge. Hover by picking the chest up, pulling the arms back with the palms facing down. For a moment, turn those palms up to the sky. Notice how that changes your shoulder and chest position. And then turn the palms back to the ground to find that external rotation. Now, choosing to stay exactly here or launching to your warrior three by letting those left toes pick up off of the ground with a flexed foot. We're engaging that foot so that that energy travels all the way up to our glutes. Notice if that left hip is kind of dialing open, try to dial it down to be in line with the right hip. Chest might peel forward just a touch. Here's your last breath. In and out. Stay for one last inhale. With the exhale, land in your crescent lunge. Arms reach up to the sky. And with the exhale, dial left heel down. Open yourself up to your warrior two. So now our hips are at a different plane of motion. Hips are open to the side of your room now. Or maybe it's the front of your room, depending on how you're practicing. Right toes to the front of your mat, back edge of the left foot to the back of your mat. Notice if those hips are kind of dropping out to the left, and try to stack them right below your shoulders. Open your arms, breathe in. Maybe you turn your palms to the sky, and take an exhale. Inhale, flip right palm, reverse your warrior. And with the exhale, extend your warrior. Two more like this. Inhale, reverse. And exhale, extend. Last one. Inhale to reverse it. And exhale to extend. And hold for a moment here. Let's rotate through that left shoulder a couple times in one direction. And then in the other. Going as slow or as fast as you like. And the legs are staying planted where they are. Really engage the feet as if they're ripping the mat apart. And then find the best version of your side angle. So either the right arm is extended, maybe the right forearm on top of the thigh, or maybe you reach that fingertips up in front of your head to engage through your abdominals. Here's your inhale. And exhale. Inhale to reverse your warrior. And with the exhale, cartwheel hands down to your runner's lunge. Hands plant, right foot steps back to meet left, plank pose. Breathe in your plank to decide what version of chaturanga you're going to take. And exhale, let it go into your chaturanga. Inhale, up dog or that low cobra. And exhale, downward facing dog for 2 breaths. Notice how good it feels to move. And notice the challenges that are in front of you and know that you are worthy of each one. Inhale, left leg sweeps up to the sky, and then open up your hip by bending left knee, dialing left heel over towards the right. Maybe you bend and extend a couple times. Make sure that you're not dumping all of your weight into right shoulder. Inhale, left toes to the sky, square your hips. And then with the exhale, pull left knee over towards right elbow. Inhale, sweep it back up. Exhale, left knee to left elbow. Really hike it up there. Inhale, sweep it back up. Last time. Exhale, knee to chest. Step to your runner's lunge. So again, here you can always use blocks as we set this up to make sure the feet are hip distance apart. Left foot is plugged entirely into the ground, and the ball of the right foot presses into the back of your mat. From here, finding your airplane lunge by reaching the fingertips to the back of the room with the palms facing down, pressing really strongly through that left foot, keeping that crown reaching forward as fingertips pull back, choosing to stay here or find your warrior three by transferring that weight into left foot and reaching right toes up off of the ground. Keep a flexed right foot so that you're ensuring that you're squeezing through the entire right leg. Right hip is in line with left hip. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale. With the exhale, landing back to your crescent lunge, so the right toes to the back of your mat. Inhale, reach up, and exhale, dial right heel down, open up to your warrior two on your left side. Left toes for the front of your mat, back edge of the right foot to the back of your mat. Let's take 2 breaths here. Press both feet into the earth. Notice if that back right foot needs to press a little bit more. Inhale, flip right palm, reverse your warrior. And with the exhale, extend your warrior. Inhale to reverse. And exhale to extend. One more here. Inhale. And exhale, side angle, and hold here. Start to rotate through right shoulder this time, creating some nice big sweeping circles. And then perhaps in the other direction, notice how your lower body stays static, where upper body can find some fluidity. And then let this carry you into your best version of your side angle. So we're really ripping the mat apart with those feet. Just when you think you can't press them in the ground anymore, press them just a little bit more. Maybe that left arm reaches out in front of you overhead to engage the abdominals. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, reverse your warrior. And with the exhale, cartwheel hands down to your runner's lunge. Hands plant, left foot steps back to meet right, plank pose. Hold here for 5, 4, peel that chest a little forward, press the heels back. 3, 2, 1. Stay with it. Drop down onto your forearms. So the palms are open and pressing into the earth, and you're either dropping onto the knees for a little support or keeping those knees lifted. Peel your chest forward. Squeeze through every fiber of your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. Drop the knees and hips to the ground. Find your Sphinx pose. So we're using that connection of the forearms on the earth to kind of peel your abdominals apart from one another. Keep your chin tucked just to make sure that your neck is a natural extension of the spine. So as much as this is a nice restful pose, there is a little bit of energy here to really spread those abdominals apart. Should feel really nice as a counteraction of those abdominal exercises. And then release your chest all the way to the ground. Let your heart beat on the earth. I am sweating up a storm here. And just take a couple breaths as you're laying down. You might windshield wiper feet from side to side with a bend in the knees. It was a nice little treat having some sunshine this morning. Hopefully we'll have some sunshine tomorrow morning for our outdoor class at Victory Fields. We'll take one back strengthener here, coming into a skydiver position. So bring the arms into goalpost position with the palms facing down, and then bend the knees and flex the feet as if you're trying to press the ceiling away. Gaze is towards your mat. With the inhale, we're lifting the arms and legs up like you're skydiving, and then with the exhale, just soften a touch. Inhale, reach it back up, skydive, and exhale, soften. 3 more, in and out. Use those glutes here as well, in And out. Here's your last one. Raise it up. Hold for 5, 4, fly, 3, 2, 1, and release. Perhaps bend the knees and windshield wiper legs side to side once again. Coming into a quick quad stretch by bringing the right forearm underneath the head as a little pillow, bending left knee and grabbing onto foot or ankle. Start this process by kind of lifting the left knee up and pulling it to the back of the mat and then settling it back down. That way you are making sure that your hip is in the correct location. Then from here, you can kind of find a little activity of pulling the left foot towards the body and left foot kicking away from the body. So we're not coming into a full like bow position, but we are providing ourselves with enough activity to lengthen through left quad. So as much as this is a restful pose, there is a little bit of activity there to really make it happen, make it work. Releasing out of this and taking it to the other side, so just exchanging those forearms, bending right knee, grabbing onto foot or ankle. Again, starting this process by just kind of picking up that right knee and pulling it to the back of the mat, landing it back down, and then providing yourself with that perfect amount of energy of kicking into hand and hand pulling the foot back towards the body. Just enough to access that quad stretch. And release. You can windshield wiper one last time. And then bringing the hands alongside of you, pressing your way up into your table pose. Taking any little movements here, maybe grabbing another drink, and we'll all meet on our backs. So take your time to arrive. And eventually laying yourself down. Finding a nice full body stretch to start. So let the legs be long, arms reach up overhead. Take a nice deep stretch here. And then pulling the knees into the chest, giving yourself a squeeze. Perhaps a little rocking side to side. And then keeping right knee pulled into the chest, lengthening left leg, either all the way down the mat or just bringing the sole of left foot on the earth for your wind relieving pose in a reclined position. And my favorite core exercise lately has been this one, so we'll go ahead and find it. I want you to bring the right knee right above right hip. So we're kind of coming into a 90-degree angle with the right leg, flexing right foot. Bringing left palm behind the head as a little pillow. And then taking the right palm and pressing into right thigh. So the right thigh presses back into the hand and hand presses into the thigh. So this is an activity that should already start to kind of squeeze your abdominals. And I want you to keep that same activity as we start to elevate left heel off of the ground. We're going to pulse that left heel for 10, 9, 8, 7. Keep pressing into right thigh. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, pull both knees into the chest. Give yourself a squeeze. Breathe here. Keeping left knee pulled into the chest, lengthen right leg down your mat, starting with our wind relieving pose. Squeezing that left knee in towards the chest. Making sure that you're avoiding your rib cage by letting that left leg go slightly out towards the left. And then coming into that ab exercise by bringing the left knee on top of left hip with a 90-degree angle. Bring the right palm underneath the head as a pillow. Press left palm into left thigh. That is the first core engagement of this posture. Keep that there as you elevate right heel and pulse for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Pull both knees into the chest. Bring the soles of the feet to the earth, and then take right ankle and cross it over left thigh in your figure 4, reclining pigeon. You can open those arms into a T and just kind of let this rock from side to side a couple times. And then if you do like to access a little deeper expression of this pose, you might interlace the hands behind left thigh and kind of start to pull this shape towards the body. Just make sure that that lower back stays grounded. Finding a nice opening through that right hip flexor. Sometimes even bending and extending through left leg to get a little hamstring stretch in the mix as well. Breathe for 3 more breaths here. Each exhale kind of offering a release. Bring left sole back down to the earth if it's not already there. Keeping right knee where it, or right ankle where it is. Open the arms into a T and then drop this shape over towards the right. Coming into a reclining twist. Now you might discover that once you come into this twist that you don't like that that right ankle is stacked on left thigh. In that case, you can remove it and just find a more relaxing reclining twist. Gaze can be in any direction that suits your neck best. It's so important to take a twist at the end of our class to kind of wring out the spine and recalibrate every positive that you've done for your body. Let all of the benefits kind of incorporate into your vertebra. If the right ankle is stacked over left thigh, go ahead and remove it. Both knees come back to center. And then taking left ankle and stacking it over right thigh. Coming into this on the other side. And perhaps starting your figure 4 by just rocking this shape from left to right to get a little movement through the hips and lower back. And if you like a deeper stretch, you might choose to interlace hands behind right thigh and pull this shape a little closer towards the body. Make sure that lower back does not become detached from the earth. Keep it grounded. And even when you find a deeper expression of this pose, there's always an opportunity to find a little movement. So perhaps still incorporating some swaying or bending and extending of the right leg. That's kind of the beauty of this practice is you can take any posture as long as, you're doing it safely and properly, especially for the joints. But then within that, there's so much freedom. Bringing right sole of the foot back to the earth, but keeping left leg where it is. Opening the arms up into a T and dropping the shape over towards the left. Again, you might decide here to unstack the left ankle from right thigh if it was a little too intense. Reclining twist. Breathe. Now that we're entering a more softer phase of our class, that breath can really start to expand. Inhales and exhales matching the length of each other. Maybe even taking a 3-second pause in between your inhale and exhale. Knees come back to center. Take any last posture of your choice. So we'll run through a couple different ones. That can be a reclining bound angle, letting the soles of the feet come to your knees, knock outwards. Perhaps just pulling the knees into the chest or finding a waterfall position by lengthening the legs up to the sky. A happy baby might feel nice here, grabbing onto the soles of the feet. Just take the next 5 seconds to do whatever you need to do before entering your final resting pose. Utilizing any props once you're in your final resting pose to make it extra luxurious and comfortable. When you've entered your final resting pose, just take a deep breath. And now, again, we are entering this space that we began class with. And now, inwardly, I'd like you to ask once again, ask your soul, how are you? Ask your soul, how are you, Dima? How are you, Gloria, Tom, Joan, Alexandre? How are you? Take a moment to listen. How many times a day does someone ask you, how are you, and you just haphazardly answer without even checking in with yourself? The body communicates to us in more ways than we know, without words necessarily. This dialogue happens between breath and sensation. And oftentimes we put on such a strong face for the world. But inside, maybe we just need to cradle ourselves. Just have a conversation with your soul. And this body needs love. This body holding me, reminding me that I am not alone. This body makes me feel eternal. All this pain is an illusion. We barely remember what came before this precious moment, choosing to be here right now. Hold on, stay inside this holy reality, this holy experience. Choosing to be living this body holding me, reminding me that I am not alone. This body makes me feel eternal. All this pain is an illusion. Taking a deep breath in and letting it go. Keep letting that breath expand with each inhale. And let it slowly start to trickle into some gentle movements through the toes and fingers. And once again, reawakening into the presence. And taking the next 4 or so breaths to bring yourself back into your seat. Using any movements to get yourself there, and maybe just deciding to lay a little longer. And once you've arrived, bringing your hands over your heart and just connecting back to your soul. And I encourage you at some point throughout the rest of your day, maybe before dinner or before bed, just finding a quiet moment and asking your soul once again, how are you? We'll seal our practice in with the sound of Om, taking this collective vibration together even as we are far apart from one another. Starting with a cleansing breath in and out. And for Om, in. And the soul within me bows to the soul within you. Namaste. Thank you guys all so much for joining me and Deema this morning. It was absolutely wonderful to have her with us. Thank you so much to all of the people who tuned in and said a little hello and how are you. I hope your soul answered you loud and clear and you were able to connect with that. I'm looking forward to seeing some of you guys outside tomorrow. So if you have any questions, please let us know. So again, that's Mystic Fitness at Victory Fields for also a live class as well at 9 a.m. And I encourage you guys to get here a little early because it does take a couple minutes to walk from the Mystic parking lot over to Victory Field. So again, we'll be accepting 12 people and we'll be coming live too. So if you don't want to come out, please tune in tomorrow and we'll see you guys there. Thank you so much. Namaste.